I welcome the motion here and commend my colleague John Brady for the work he has undertaken in bringing it forward today. Retained firefighters are first responders and very often first on the scene of awful tragedies that we can only imagine. I mean, it's a dangerous job, it's enormous pressure. Firefighters are facing very real fears for their personal safety. I mean, firefighters go into burning buildings to make sure the rest of us are out of them, that it's clear of people. They go to cars to cut people out, even though that car might explode or burst into flames at any moment. And all of this has an emotional tally on both the firefighters and their families. However, conditions within the job have led to a recruitment and retention crisis. Now, firefighters are on call 24/7. They must be in the vicinity of the fire station at all times. And yet, the money they receive is not reflective of that commitment. And I mean, the retained fire services cannot recruit sufficient new members nor retain experienced personnel. So this has made an already dangerous and pressurised job even more so, as fire stations are being forced to operate with low crew numbers and in some cases resulting in fire authorities taking the decision to temporarily close stations. I mean, there are also issues around the failure of management to take seriously the concerns of firefighters in the provision of proper training, in consultation or supervision in the use of new technology, and that's in breach of the Health, Safety and Welfare Work Act of 2005. Indeed, it is the view that retained fire service in its current form is not fit for purpose, and those are not my words, they're the words of Mr Dave Carroll, the former head of the Chief Fire Officers Association, and he made those remarks back in 2018, but things have become even worse since then. The cost of living crisis has exacerbated this issue, and many retained firefighters have been forced to take up full-time employment. I mean, the job is not sufficiently paid to consider it full-time employment, so most have to take up work. But if they do so, then they're taxed to the hilt. One firefighter told me he received €5,000 for a 6-month period of his retainer and call-outs. He received €5,000 in theory, €1,700 actually is what he got into his hand after he was taxed. I mean, that doesn't encourage anybody to join and risk their lives for that. So I'm just urging the members here to back this motion. It's calling for the establishment of a cross-party joint Oireachtas committee. This issue has to be urgently resolved. It has to be for the safety of both the crew and the members of the